Good afternoon. Hopefully you enjoyed your little break. First, let me mention who I am in this list. I am the third person in this list. The first two people are the students actually who worked on this, in particular the first person here, Gilbert. Unfortunately, he could not get his visa to Qatar, so he could not make it. So I am presenting on his behalf. He made me do more work than I wanted to. So if there are questions, I'll send it to him. All right, so this presentation is about developing an Arabic sentiment lexicon, so a lexicon that we can use for opinion mining with a focus on Arabic. I'm going to cover an introduction, quickly related work, our proposed method, and then get into the evaluation. So this particular arsenal is part of a bigger project we're working on. It's for opinion mining Arabic. This is a collaboration between several faculty members and universities, actually. We've got Professor Nizar Habash from New York University in Dubai. And we've got Qatar University, Dr. Khalid Shaban, and then a couple of professors, myself and Dr. Wassim from AUB. And this is the first year of the project, so we expect a lot to come out in the future. If you want to see more about it, it's simple to remember, omaproject.com. And the arsenal is also accessible from that site. And if you are interested in doing research, you're a student or a postdoc and you're interested, we are hiring also, so especially here for Qatar. So if you're interested, let us know. So what's the problem? Why are we working on this? So there was in the AM part, there was a tutorial happening next door about sentiment analysis. So if you are not familiar with that area, it's focused on basically people finding out whether people like or dislike a certain topic or certain aspect or certain product. And typically what people look at is positive, negative, or neutral. There are many applications. Some of the most financially, potentially rewarding are targeted advertising. So if we can know what people would like and dislike, we could market more. You may have heard about Facebook tricking people actually and posting emotionally charged advertisement just to see people's reaction. That happened a few months ago, and then Facebook apologized, saying, "Oh, we didn't think this was privacy intrusion." But anyways, there's a lot of interest in this area on terms of sentiment and emotion. We're focused on sentiment. There's an increased interest overall for social media, more so in the Arabic world. We've seen the Arabic Spring and the use of the social media in the Arab world. The methods typically are NLP and text mining techniques. And again, if you've attended the tutorial, you've heard more about the methods. There's extensive research in English. There's actually more than 1,000 publication on sentiment analysis, but there's much less in Arabic. And the research, so I'm basing my judgment here on English, has reflected and has proven actually that lexicons are extremely important. They're actually the most important feature that the SEM eval have shown across 2012 through 14 for sentiment analysis. So lexicons are extremely important, and we obviously need them in Arabic as well. And we don't have many of those, and I'll talk about this. So the objective here actually is creating an Arabic sentiment lexicon with a standardized use of the words, lemmas, that we want to capture in there. We want to leverage existing resources. We want to build on the shoulders of the giants who have already started some work in this space. So the lexicons we will look at using are like Arabic WordNet and actually Sama, not Sifat. We will compare it to Sifat. This is a typo on my behalf. We will be mapping between existing Arabic resources and existing English resources. And we will also evaluate how well these lexicons specifically for opinion mining. So some of the related work, I'm going to start with just saying what's in Arabic. So in Arabic, there's really not much. There's two that we know of that are available. There's Sifat, that's been developed by Abdul Majid and Diab in 2012. It's a lemma-based Arabic lexicon, sentiment lexicon. It's been manually annotated with labels. of positive, negative, and neutral, and subjective and objective. We have an extension which is SANA, and that's actually bigger, but however it has a translation involved which leads to inaccuracies. So this is, I suspect this will still be progressing and will likely have a lot of momentum and gain, which is, by the way, more resources, as we have been hearing in English, is much better. So it's not that we necessarily need to be better, we need to produce more. So, so this is good. And then we have work actually by Al-Hazmi in 2013 actually, which, as you will see in our work, has done, I mean, a pioneering work in terms of doing some of what we have done already, but we could not find that resource publicly available. So again, we took upon that activity of doing what they had done, make it publicly available, and augment it even more. In terms of the related sentiment lexicons that we care about, there's a lot of sentiment lexicons out there. There's automated lexicons, there's manual lexicons. Maybe a lot is too much. There's a handful, maybe under 10 total sentiment lexicons, even in English. In Arabic, as I mentioned, there's 2, and ours will be the third. And the one we cared about from English is particularly English CentiWordNet. And if you may ask why English CentiWordNet, because we have Arabic WordNet and we have the opportunity to bridge between Arabic and English with high accuracy. And that's why we actually pick English CentiWordNet of all the English lexicons. I think there's definitely an opportunity to look at the others as well. So the limitations, in summary, of the existing Arabic lexicons, they are manually annotated. There are, some of them are manually annotated. The ones that are larger scale, they have risk of inaccuracies in translation. And above all, even if they didn't have limitations, we want more. So anyone who can produce more and more expanded lexicons for sentiment, it will help the task of actually opinion mining. So the proposed method to actually achieve this is to get some existing resources that could be useful. English WordNet is one of them, and English CentiWordNet actually is the other one. Again, I have a typo here, I apologize. This is ESWN, not EWSN. And then Arabic WordNet on the Arabic side, and SAMA, which is a very important resource produced from Colombia on standard Arabic. LDC, I'm sorry. Wasn't Colombia involved also in that? No? Okay, my mistake. So SAMA is licensed by LDC actually, and we were lucky to be able to have access to it. It provides standard Arabic morphological analysis, POS tagging, and different kind of stuff. And the most important thing we wanted from there is, the standardized lemmas that we wanted to match the Arabic WordNet. So here's the proposed approach actually that we went after. So we have two major sources that we used. On the Arabic side, we have Arabic WordNet and we have SAMA. On the English side, we have English WordNet and English CentiWordNet. And the scores of sentiment, they come from English CentiWordNet. So this was a key source. And our objective actually is to figure out how well do they match. So if you, I don't know how many of you have looked at these lexicons, but they have, glosses, they have some codes. Then when you first look at them, you say, what the heck are those codes? And so if you look at those codes, you'll find actually these codes kind of match from one lexicon to another lexicon to another lexicon. So we first go from AWN to an English WordNet version of same version 2.0, and from there there's another code or offset to actually get us to another version of English WordNet, and then yet to another version of English WordNet, and then from there we get to English CentiWordNet. So there's several layers of mapping and transitions to get to finally what we want from the Arabic WordNet to English 2.0 to another release of English CentiWordNet 3.0. But this was actually, the complexity was just understanding the codes, but then from there the process became easier and automated. So once we had these resources aligned, now we can take a word from Arabic and know what the score is in English. So at this point, really our work was done. And we celebrated and we were happy about this. From there, we just actually went through the task of making it better, okay? And there were two aspects of making it better. Make sure that these actually accurately matched, so we looked into that. The other thing actually is the standardization. The lemmas in the Arabic WordNet are not necessarily a standard form of lemmas. So for that, we went to LDC Sama, actually, and then we matched the words from Arabic here in Arabic WordNet to Sama. And this actually gave us our first version of Arabic sentiment lexicon, and we celebrated even more. And then we said, okay, well, this had 10,000 words, or somewhere between 10 and 12,000. I don't remember the exact number. 12,000. I'm bad with remembering anything. So 12,000 here, about 30,000 there. Actually, it's 28,000 something in Sama. And we said, so what do we do about the 18,000 that we have in Sama? So we said, we can't match them to Arabic anymore. So what about if we find the glosses of those and match them back to Senti WordNet? So we took the 18,000 and we matched those actually to through glosses, through kind of translation kind of approach, through English Senti WordNet, and we got yet another part of this 18,000, and then we took the union of the two, and this is what we called Arsenal. So what you find today, and we celebrated some more, and we tested some more, and we have our final celebration for now, and this is what we have. So when you hear Arsenal, this is what it is. It's the Arabic WordNet plus whatever wasn't in there in Sama that actually is matched to Senti WordNet, and we got our final conclusion. So it's 28,780 lemmas, free for you to use. We have it available on the project website. It's currently interactive, so you have to enter the word, you get a translation of sentiment, but we intend to actually make it totally available. So let's just make it clear. We want to make it all of it available. And you would right now enter the word, you say submit, you enter it in Arabic, and it will give you the word in Arabic and then the sentiment scores just like you see in Senti WordNet, and then some more similar glosses that are similar to it just to see what this word could mean. But we want to release the whole thing. We're working through the licenses, make sure LDC, any tools that actually we're using from Colombia that we could make these things available. So for now, we have this interactive, but we intend to make it all available. I have 2 minutes, so I'm going to rush through the conclusion. But we did two types of evaluations. We did intrinsic, checking the accuracy of the matching itself. And we did actually, the accuracy of the data itself. And we did an extrinsic evaluation and see how well this will do for opinion mining, which ultimately what we want it for. So I'm going to start with the opinion mining results. The data set used was from Abdul Majid and ETL from 2011. We have 400 documents from the Pan-Arabic Tree Bank. We used SVM to actually classify nonlinear SVM with RBF. We actually tuned on the data that we have and then tested on another. We did several different variations. I'm going to skip this part, but basically we did multiple experiments and all kind of showed similar conclusions. We've just picked one that was slightly better, which is just normalizing the data. And just in the interest of time, I'm going to tell you briefly how we did the classification. So a sentence comes in, it's matched to Arsenal, and we get scores of sentiment for Arabic. And then these scores are added up for the positive, added up for the negative, added up for the neutral, and then that ends up becoming our features for classification. We did the same thing to be fair, and I'm not sure if you guys can see these columns on the right, to compare it to Sifat. And then on the left, unfortunately, they're readable here, but not very readable on the slide. This is baseline. So the left side is baseline. And those three different columns represent our different variety of the lexicons, the Arabic alone, the Sama, and then the combination. So really what we want to look at is this baseline, this union, and this is the comparison of other work, Sifat, which was by Abdul Majid. And this was for subjectivity, which basically says, is the sentiment existing or not existing? Is this, an objective statement or there's actually sentiment in it? And this one here actually was where we check for positive versus negative. And if you could look at those actually, you can see that in both cases, Arsenal did better than Sifat. Again, I mentioned it is good that it does better than sifat, but this is not the main objective of producing arsenals for sentiment lexicons. We want to produce as many. So at this point, we're seeing that it at least does better, definitely does better than baseline. Baseline as a majority, so we're kind of, disfavoring ourselves by using a majority, but that is fair to choose. And so now we see actually in both cases it's better. And for the intrinsic, we looked at both what was produced from SAMA, what was produced from AWN, and we had a decent in the 80s accurate matches, and then to reflect the non-exact matches, we actually use sentiment scores that are average across multiple glosses. So, because in SentiWordNet you have multiple glosses. One word could have different meanings, so it's not just one score all the time. And this is a sample of Arsenal. It will look like this if we release it. We have the lemmas on one side, the positive score, the negative score, a confidence of how well this matched from Arabic to English, and an English gloss, and some other information that are really not relevant because these just say how they map into the other SentiWordNet lexicon in English. So in conclusion, we have, I think, one of the most important resources for sentiment mining right now. I mean, I attended the tutorial in the morning, and over again they repeat, lexicons most important for sentiment analysis. So we have the first one, not the first one, maybe the second one I should say, in Arabic, and it's decently, very accurate, better accuracy than what we have before. So if you don't want to use it alone, combine it with what you have before and it will do very well. We're going to continue working on this, so there's more to come, but this is our first release from the project. I want to thank you, and if you have any questions, you'd like to join us on the project, we'd be happy to have you. Thank you.
You went pretty fast, so I got lost at a certain point. Can you go back and re-explain what the baseline you were using?
I'm sorry.
I got a bit lost on what the baseline was on the comparison.
What's the baseline? Yeah. Okay. The baseline actually, what we do actually, we take the data set itself that we had, which is annotated for positive and negative, and let's say, and I think in the majority in this case was positive. So we take the majority and we say, if I don't do anything, right, if I take the majority rule on this, I'm going to get, if I say all of them are positive, I'm going to get in F1 measure 71% for, I'm sorry, on this graph. Here it's subjective versus non-subjective, so most of them are actually objective, and so I get 71. So it tells us actually if I would just use a dumb, if you want, decision making, but dumb in terms of saying majority rules, that's a baseline. Actually, for sentiment analysis, and again, this was a discussion there, if you're trying to do opinion mining, the method we used is now kind of considered, it seems like, I mean, this scores of positive, negative in a sentence is kind of a good base to use if you want to do an even more advanced opinion mining methods. Here, we're just trying to validate Arsenal does well. Yes?
Percentage of the lexicon entries we found in this mapping and essentially transferring the polarity from English to Arabic with work.
So this is the slide. We took actually from SAMA 18,000 lemmas and we matched them to the English. Yeah. And that was actually done through automated process of just matching glosses. And we found, to evaluate this SAMA one, we took 400 random entries and we checked them manually to see how well it does. Yeah, and then we did the same for... 70%
exact matches, that means that the polarity from English...
Exactly. And if it doesn't, then we take an average. So this is not necessarily bad. This is a reality. I mean, things don't always match. It just says that SAMA itself was limited, not that it's, not the matching was bad. Yes?
So how do you think that this lexicon will be useful with strength analysis for Arabic social text? the dialects.
Yeah, so this experiment's actually not in this one. We actually released an application. We haven't released it. We put it in a paper actually that's coming up in ICDM. Anyways, here's a simple way of doing it. Has anyone tried to do opinion mining on the phone? No one? Okay, we did. So what you do simply, you get Twitter, okay, and you extract Twitter sentiments. And you have Arsenal, it's it's a small file to upload here. For every sentence you have, you can actually you don't even have to use lemmas. You stem the tweets, you stem Arsenal, all of it, stem it all. Use the stems, match the stems, and then get the scores and get your classification. So you get yourself a quick sentiment mining application that can classify any of the tweets. And we did that actually application, and it wasn't actually even the best methods don't achieve high accuracy. They're in the 70s. This one actually achieved in the 60s. But it was just a quick way actually of seeing, hey, this actually brings us a level of mobility and opinion mining in Arabic.
We're kind of at the end.
I was going to actually follow up on a question on
He was asking about dialectal.
Oh, did you say dialectal?
I was social links, which in Twitter it's mostly dialect.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we do not have dialectal. So it will not be useful for dialectal. But part of the potential work, I say it's part of the future work, it's not for sure future work, is the dialectal aspects. Yeah. Thank you again.